Hey folks, hope you're having a great Monday wherever you are. I've been almost every week, I think I might have gone a little bit longer than a week this time, but kind of going chapter by chapter through my book, Sitting with God, A Journey to Your True Self Through Centering Prayer. It's been out about 2.5 months now, so thanks for the people that have purchased it. Thanks for all the reviews. I'm up to 39 reviews, which is terrific. Keep them coming. And reviews in UK and Canada as well, but I know I have purchases also in Australia and Japan and Spain. So it's just been really, really exciting. So thank you very much for purchasing the book, and thanks for the people that have reviewed it. And please take a minute, tell me what you think. Write a short, honest review on Amazon after you've finished the book. I would appreciate it. So I'm going chapter by chapter, and we're up to chapter 10. Book has 14 chapters, so another 4 weeks or so, and I will have gone through the entire book. So chapter 10, I talk about Jesus' transformed humanity. And let me just pull out a couple key points in the book. Actually, there's 2 quotes I just want to read that I really think will be helpful. The first quote is by Tony Jones, and it was in a book that I read a couple years back called Did God Kill Jesus? And he says, in Jesus, we have found that God is extraordinarily interested in what it means to be human. Which is true, because I believe Jesus was, in a point of time, the human incarnation of God. And then another quote I'll read by Carl Arico, who wrote the foreword in his book, A Taste of Silence, writes, Jesus had to deal with his humanity, and he set an example for us. And that certainly is true, and we can read a lot about that in the New Testament. So some things I'll touch on. Obviously, I want you to read the book for yourself, but I'll touch on a few things. One, I mentioned, my humanity includes all parts of me. It includes the parts of me that I want to hide, that I want to suppress, that I want to deny. But that's who I am, and that's my humanity. And I talk a little bit about that in the book, and I talk a little bit about where there were times that I didn't have confidence and I should have spoken up, and in staff meetings at work, or even with friends, where I knew I had something important to say and I didn't embrace my humanity and instead backed away from it and got nervous and scared and didn't talk and say or take action as I should. I believe, and Jesus modeled it, that Jesus wanted us to embrace our humanity. He said, I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. This is mentioned in John 10:10. And that's important, and we need to embrace our humanity. And had I embraced my humanity in some of these situations, I would not have been fearful, and I would have spoken and said things or taken the actions that I should have taken. Talk about, Jesus forgave, even on the cross, for the people that actually crucified him. He forgave them. I speak about Jesus took a nonviolent approach to things, and I share one example in the book where I just say or talk about where you're in your car and you're making a left turn, and the car in front of you is not over the line and is right at the line, and then the light turns yellow and then the light turns red and nobody has gone. And kind of a violent response would be to start yelling and screaming and beeping the horn. So that's just kind of a small example of taking a nonviolent response, just being patient, waiting for the green arrow and going where I need to go maybe a couple minutes later rather than 2 minutes sooner. Jesus talked in this chapter. I talk about Jesus believed the community should take care of its members. And then lastly, I kind of end the chapter with the Sermon on the Mount, and I talk about the 8 Beatitudes, and I talk about them as being beautiful descriptions of how to be fully human. So I won't go into all of them now, but I'll talk about one of them quickly. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Jesus will meet you where you are spiritually. And this is what attracts me to centering prayer. wherever I'm at in my spiritual life, Jesus will meet me in the silence of centering prayer. So those are a few things I touch on in this chapter. And as I've been doing over the last 13 weeks, just thought I'd touch on the questions. One, Jesus expressed a full range of emotions and sensations in the Gospels: hunger, thirst, fatigue, sorrow, anger, compassion. What does this tell you about Jesus? I mean, it tells you he was all in. He was definitely all in. And I love that. Number two, Jesus modeled forgiveness in the Gospels. Do you think you can model forgiveness? If so, how? That's a tough one, because it can be very, very difficult to forgive people. So that's something I have to constantly remind myself by how I act and how I think about others that have hurt me. And can I forgive them? And how will I act? And how will I conduct myself? Three, do you agree with the author's rendering of the Sermon on the Mount? Why or why not? Obviously, I won't answer that question. I wrote it. But as you read through that chapter, what do you think of the Beatitudes and how I responded to what each one of them means? And then lastly, do you believe Jesus embraced his humanity? Why or why not? And I certainly do. I think, as I mentioned earlier, he was all in with his humanity. He embraced all of his human emotions. And Jesus really serves as the Gospels, the Jesus we see in the Gospels serves as a human that we can all aspire or try to be. And that's what makes it really exciting. So that's all. That was kind of a recap of chapter 14. Again, thanks for everybody that has purchased the book. Thanks for all of the reviews. It means a lot to me. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the Monday wherever you are at. You might hear a dog barking in the background, so I'm going to kind of shut it down before it gets too loud. But again, thank you very much. It means a lot to me for all the people that have purchased the book, as well as all the reviews. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, in Facebook Messenger, or just go to silenceteaches.com and shoot me a question or even a comment. Take care, everybody. Much love to all of you.